All right, good evening, everyone. I am teaching this class from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from my kids' house. And this is our youngest son and his wife. And I'm going to be teaching tonight the healthy endocrine system. I'm going to do it in two parts. So tonight is the first part, and next week will be the second part. And we're going to be talking specifically about balancing hormones naturally. Pam and I developed this presentation many years ago, and we've kept it updated over the years. So I just hope that you enjoy this, that you get the information that you're looking for. We will open it up for questions afterwards. I do want to make one statement before I get started. There was a woman on last week, and her name was Welke, W-E-L-K-E. And she wanted a copy of the anti-aging oils, and I stopped the recording before she put in her email address. And if I stop the recording, anything that you put in the chat, I miss. So I will keep the recording up as long as I can without, compromising anybody's privacy. Okay, so let's go. What you're going to learn in part one, you're going to learn about the organs that make up the endocrine system. You're going to learn how the endocrine system functions and effects of overall health, why hormone testing is important, how to support hormone production, how our environment plays a role in our endocrine system. And I get real passionate about that part. Why synthetic hormones are dangerous, and how to support the body through the stages of menopause. Part two will cover much more. I will show you at the end of this class part what you will be covering next week. So let's talk about what is the endocrine system. This is a system of glands and organs, and they secrete types of hormones that circulate through the bloodstream. They regulate body activities, they regulate our behavior and other biological factors. And some of these glands and organs include the hypothalamus, which is in the middle or the center of the brain, the pituitary, which is also situated in the center of the brain. And you'll see on the left-hand side of this screen, you're going to see the words hypothalamus, pineal, pituitary. They're all in the center of the brain. It also includes the parathyroid glands, the adrenals, the pancreas, and the testes or ovaries. And using a series of signaling, the glands create a communication network known as an axis. Not all organs that secrete hormones or hormone-like substances are considered part of the endocrine system, but we are going to talk about those that are part of the endocrine system. The endocrine system function. So that the function of the endocrine system is to circulate these hormones throughout the body. They will influence other organs and tissues. Some hormones only affect one or two organs, whereas others have influence throughout the body. So this is where I really want you to get an understanding that everything is interactive and one thing affects another thing. Hormones are the body's chemical messengers and are critical to maintain vibrant health. A tiny amount of any hormone can result in big changes in the cells or even the whole body. You know, the thing that I love about talking about the health of our body and hormones, or in this case, hormones, is that if we give our bodies the things that they need to balance themselves out, we can actually reverse damaged DNA in the body and bring it into homeostasis or bring it into balance. And I believe that with my whole heart. I really do. And I've seen it happen time and time again. A lot of times it takes time. Give your body the time. Be patient. Have faith. And you will get the results that you're looking for. Let's talk about hormone health and testing. Hormones help with good brain function and in maintaining optimal body functions, and they work to help keep us young. Progesterone, which is a number one hormone, balances the estrogen in our body, giving a feeling of well-being and a positive attitude. You're going to hear me talk a lot about the misnomer of estrogen dominance. It's not that estrogen is dominant, it's that we don't have enough progesterone. And progesterone is what balances estrogen. You can never have too much progesterone. I mean, unless you're doing synthetic. I don't, and I'm not a big promoter of synthetic progesterone. I want your body to learn to make it itself. Progesterone and testosterone increase physical desire. So progesterone also helps with sexual drive. Testosterone helps build muscle and decrease fat. And know that both progesterone and testosterone, and oh, by the way, estrogen, are in both the male and female bodies. They're just in different ratios. Estrogen and testosterone convert bad cholesterol, or LDL, to good cholesterol, or HDL. It's important to have your hormone levels tested by requesting a blood hormone panel. A hormone panel should be taken every week for 4 weeks to cover the complete cycle for the best results. However, one good hormone panel can speak volumes. After the analysis, it is recommended that a hormone specialist evaluate the results, and I recommend Dr. Dan Purser. Dr. Dan Purser is probably one of the best evaluators as far as hormones. He has studied endocrinology for years. He's just a phenomenal doctor, and he takes appointments over the phone, and he will read your blood panel. Standard blood tests are designed to only pick up the sickest, or 2.5% of the population, and individuals often suffer for years being told that their thyroid or their testosterone or their estrogen or their progesterone and adrenals are just fine, when in fact they could have been supporting them long before their thyroid crashed and burned, or their adrenals went into adrenal failure. That's why I teach you what I teach you. I want you to learn to be proactive. Don't wait until you get sick. Don't wait until you're the 2.5%. Okay, so let's talk about how do we support hormone production. When I talked about detox, I talked about first you detox the colon, and then you detox the liver, because you never want to dump a dirty liver into an already dirty colon. You're just exacerbating the colon thing. So once you've cleansed the colon and you've done a liver cleanse, then you want to give the liver a real boost so that it will start creating the hormones and detoxing the body and storing the glucose the way it's supposed to. It will also aid in digestive health. And a great oil to do this, and this is after a detox. So you want to first do the cleansing trio. And if you don't remember, what I talked about in detox, go back to the YouTube channel and listen to the detox class again, Detoxing with Young Living. So you're going to do the cleansing trio for, about 6 or 8 weeks. Just get that colon nice and clean. And then you're going to start using the Juva products, the Juva Tone, the Juva Power, the Juva Flex and getting that liver nice and clean. You can also use Rehemagen to clean the blood and some other things. So just review that YouTube video, and then add Juva Cleanse. Juva Cleanse is great for actually treating hepatitis C. It will bring down markers for hepatitis C. And it's also good for chelating heavy metals in the blood and in the liver. So you want to apply this over the liver and on the kidneys and the liver VitaFlex points on the bottom of the feet. This is also beneficial when used with a raindrop. And you can take 1 capsule 2 times a day for cleansing too. So how much, this is really good too for a fatty liver. If you've been diagnosed with maybe a non-alcoholic fatty liver because of our diet, Juva Cleanse is really good for that. Just, I would take 2 capsules a day. Take 1 capsule twice a day. Juva Cleanse is going to help with hormone production. Also enzymes. Enzymes are going to help with hormone production. Essentialzyme 4, I brought them here with me. I don't go anywhere without my Essentialzyme, my enzymes. It's a multi-spectrum enzyme complex, and proper enzymes are key to ensuring a successful hormone therapy program for both men and women. You can also take Essentialzyme. So there's Essentialzyme 4, which is in a blister pack, and they're easy to pop a blister pack in your pocketbook, and then if you're eating out or whatever, you've got your enzymes right there. Or the Essentialzyme, which is a multi-enzyme general purpose complex that promotes digestion and assists in the assimilation of nutrients. I would not be without my enzymes, truthfully. Also supporting hormone production, you can use ICP, which increases the fiber to enhance normal bowel function and aid in the removal of toxins from the body. This is part of the cleansing trio. ICP is part of the cleansing trio. So if you've just done 6 or 8 weeks of the cleansing trio, then you are well on your way. And then you went and you did a liver cleanse and you used Juva Power. This is a rich source of acid binding foods high in liver protecting nutrients. Acid binding foods assist our bodies to achieve a more alkaline state. And many of you who take alkaline can attest to the way they feel, the good feeling that they have when they get their body out of that acid state. These foods attract the acid as they pass through the digestive system and are then eliminated, helping the body to achieve a more balanced pH level. This is Juva Power. And basically, Juva Power is a powder, and you add a heaping teaspoon or even a tablespoon to, you can add it to almond milk, you can add it to water. I like to put it in the bullet to get it really blended up so it doesn't clump. If you know what a bullet is, it's just a little tiny blender. Juva Power is basically, it's made up of beets and spinach, but doesn't taste like it because it has oils in it as well. And it's really good to for acid binding. We should do more of this, especially the way I'm eating here at the kids' house. I mean, we're eating a lot of snacks, and you know, I'm going to have to do some serious work when I get home. So what causes endocrine imbalances? First of all, an overload of chemical toxins found in the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink, and the products that we use daily. Now, I might be eating a lot of snacks, but I'm not eating junk. And I'm not eating, you know, toxic, you know, colors and MSG and aspartame. I don't do that. And I'm still gluten-free. And so I just may not be eating as healthy as I would if I was at home. Reducing your estrogen load is a key component that everyone should follow. So start in your home with the following. Wash your food well to rid of pesticides. And you know, it's a really good feeling for me when I come to my kids' house and they were serving some grapes for snacks. And let's see, they had grapes and blackberries. They picked the blackberries from their yard. And I saw Kenneth Jr. washing the grapes with the veggie wash from Young Living. And it just, you know, it makes my heart feel good to see that they're washing their food to rid it of pesticides or acid rain or stuff that might fall from chemtrails. You know, even if you grow it in your backyard, which I do, I still wash my food with the veggie wash. Before I can my green beans, before I do my tomatoes, everything gets washed in veggie wash. Throw away all pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides. There are natural fungicides that you can get. If you're using those, then fine, but don't use the stuff with chemicals. If you've made your own, you know, like with purification or lemongrass, spray for your black spot on your roses or whatever, those are fungicides, but they're not chemical fungicides. Throw away all your cosmetics that have toxic ingredients and switch to estrogen-free cosmetics, which are all of Young Living's cosmetics. They are all estrogen-free. Don't use fabric softeners or perfumed laundry detergents, as this puts petrochemicals right directly on your skin. If you wash your sheets in chemicals and then you put them in the dryer with dryer sheets that have chemicals on them, and you sleep night after night, and maybe even sweat in bed so that you're really opening your pores and absorbing those chemicals, you are causing an endocrine imbalance. Use only natural based perfumes, and so I say essential oils. Most perfumes are petrochemically based, so you don't want to spray them on you. Use your essential oils. Find those oils that you love to put on your body. And I have my oil diffusing bracelet that I got from Young Living. I love this thing. It's so pretty. It's got seeds and little bits of clay on it. And I added Peace and Calming today to it. That's kind of what I use most of the time on here is Peace and Calming, and I just breathe it in. And that's my perfume too. So also have a good water filter. And you know that I've always recommended Zero water filter. You can get it at Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart or Target in the water filter section. It is better than Pure. It is better than Brita. And you can actually measure the particles per billion of any kind of chemical that might be in your water, and it's zero, cleans it out. It's so effective. Do not use plastic goods, since all plastic leaches estrogens into the environment. Eat only organic based whole foods. Avoid surfactants found in many condoms and in diaphragm gels. Do not microwave food in plastic containers, and especially avoid the use of plastic wrap to cover food for microwaving. Endocrine disrupting substances. I was at a vendor fair last Friday, and it was given by some massage therapists. And there was a lady there who makes her own body butters and this and that, and the other thing. And I hope she got this this invite, because we were talking briefly about the fragrances that she had in all of these products that she was selling. And fragrances are really a #1 endocrine disrupting substance. Fragrances are made out of chemicals, and chemicals have a molecular structure that binds with receptors in the hormone secreting glands, thereby disrupting the normal hormone production process. Common endocrine disruptors studied include DDT, which is a banned pesticide that is still used in some African nations, PCB, They're present in electrical equipment manufactured in third world nations. Dioxins, a byproduct from the product of paper, and it's found in the lining of cans used for preserving food. I don't use or buy much canned food. Vinclozolin, this is a common fungicide that's used on fruits that doesn't wash away easily. So that's why we recommend that some of these fruits, if they're not organic, you should be soaking them in the veggie soap. And it will literally digest or ingest those chemicals because it has a digize-like blend in the veggie soap. And toluene, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but it's found in inks, glues, color coatings, and paints. It can cause reduced sperm count, infertility, testicular cancer, and reduced sexual behavior among middle-aged males. Reduced immunity, breast cancer, and development of malignant melanomas among women. So these are endocrine disrupting substances. Somebody is asking in the chat, what was the water purification, water purifier that I recommend? And that is zero water. It's simply zero water pitcher, water filter, and it isn't any more expensive than what the Brita or whatever, but it's much more effective. So there you go. Okay. Here are some endocrine disrupting products. I'm just kind of making this chat box so that I can see it if anybody chats. Okay, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Household Product Database has some of these things listed as endocrine disrupting products. Colgate, Total, Aquafresh, Crest, Gleam, Mentadent, Sensodyne, Ultra Bright, and Viadent. And of course, mouthwashes like Listerine, Scope, Viadent, and Crest. Endocrine disrupting products, continued antibacterial dish, hand, and body soaps. Dawn is one of the biggest culprits. Dial, soft soap, Ajax, CVS. I'm not familiar with CVS. Lever 2000, Neutrogena, Clearasil, Clean and Clear, Suave shampoos are endocrine disruptors. Olay brand, anything. And Aveeno products. I get a kick out of some of these because they say they're natural, and yet they'll have endocrine disruptors in them. Excuse me. Yeah. Also, you can get an app on your phone called Think Dirty, and it allows you to scan the barcode on the back of any of these products, and it will tell you just how dirty it is, and if it's an endocrine disruptor, if it if it has toxic chemicals in it. It's a really nice free app. Again, it's called Think Dirty. If you want to add that app to your phone, I gotta take something break here. Yeah, my throat was getting a little. Okay, here are some other endocrine disrupting products: air fresheners and sanitizers. Glade 2-in-1, Glade plugins, Oust air sanitizer, Febreze, and Lysol. All of these are very, very bad for the hormones. You're going to knock them out of balance if you're breathing this stuff in and it's getting into your system, because it causes, the inability of your hormones to do what they're supposed to do. Here are some shampoos: Alberto Culver, Aussie Awesome, Dove, Head and Shoulders, Herbal Essences, Pantene, Pro V, Pert Plus, Suave, Vidal Sassoon. These are all endocrine disruptors. Deodorants: Right Guard, Old Spice Red Zone, High Endurance, Secret, Sure, Suave, and Ban Roll On. Now, I thought I had the URL to where you can get all this stuff, but I do recommend that you get that Think Dirty app, and that will help you. Makeup: CoverGirl, they're all bad. Avon, body lotions: Vaseline Intensive Care, Jergens, Suave, Johnson & Johnson, Baby Magic. Anything by Johnson & Johnson is pretty much toxic to the body, so just deal with it. Even the stuff that they say is natural, again, you can put it in Think Dirty and you'll see that it's not natural, it's not healthy. Fabric softeners and detergents. Here we go: Arm & Hammer, Bounce, Downy, Ace Ultra, Ariel, Bold, Cheer, Clorox, Yes, Dynamo, Dreft, Era, Fab, Gain is one of the worst, Ivory Snow, Purex, Whisk, Woolite, and Tide. Tide's one of the worst too. So, I did mention about estrogen dominance. These are, they're really, this is a misnomer. It's really not a true diagnosis. You have estrogen dominance, which can cause cancer. Estrogen levels can be normal, but it's your progesterone levels that are low. And these symptoms are hair loss, breast cancer, sluggish metabolism, decreased sex drive, breast tenderness, foggy thinking, fatigue, irritability, insomnia, memory loss, mood swings, and osteoporosis. Also, water retention and bloating. So if you're getting, if you're retaining water when you push on your legs or your arms, if it leaves a white spot or, an indentation for any length of time, then you're probably retaining water. Acceleration of the aging process. Cold hands and feet is a symptom of thyroid dysfunction. Depression with anxiety or agitation. Fat gain, especially around the abdomen, hips and thighs. Increased blood clotting or increasing the risks of strokes. So from age 35 to 50, there's a 75% reduction in the production of progesterone in the body. So what do we do about that? Oh, here's some other things too. Common estrogen dominance conditions. Again, breast cancer, fibroids. If you have any of these things, you need more progesterone. Endometriosis, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, fibrocystic breast disease, premenopausal syndrome, and premenstrual syndrome, PMS. Recommended for estrogen dominance syndrome: support the pituitary gland and use Progessence Plus. We no longer have Ultra Young Spray. I don't know how that got on there. Use Progessence Plus. Use lots of Progessence Plus. Use it at night. Put a roller on the bottle. Every woman from the age of 12 to 112 should be using Progessence Plus. Nobody is exempt because of how we live in the culture that we live in. We are going to get bombarded by things that are toxic to our system, and it is going to put our system out of balance. And we do not make enough progesterone after the age of 35. So start using Progessence Plus every night before you go to bed. You can rub it on the carotid artery, or you can put it on the inside of the arm or any soft skin under the arm, between the thighs, any of those places. You can rotate where you put it. Also feed the pancreas with Ningxia Red and Ocotea essential oil. This is really good for not only balancing blood sugar, but also for cardiovascular support and for balancing hormones. And keep the liver and the colon clean. Do a colon cleanse at least once a year. Do a liver cleanse at least once a year. Go on a master cleanse at least once a year, so that you're really keeping your body in good functional, working condition. Synthetic hormone dangers. I don't tell anyone to go and use synthetic hormones. These are patented synthetic hormones, and they are different biochemically from natural hormones that are found in plants and in the human body. And their effects can be hazardous to your health. Premarin, for example, was the #1, female hormone treatment, HRT treatment. And it had a 33% increase in breast cancer patients. 33%, and they still had it on the market? What? Synthetic hormones are linked with higher risks of heart disease, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, and osteoporosis. Stay away from synthetic hormones. Let's talk about the pituitary gland. This is your master gland, and here we find it. It's in a little bony cavity. It's about the size of a pea. It weighs about, 0.5 grams or 0.02 ounces. It's located on the bottom, at the bottom of the hypothalamus and at the base of the brain. And again, it rests in a little small bony cavity. It helps control blood pressure, but it also controls growth and development. It promotes protein production. It controls reproductive functions, and it controls the secretion and production of hormones in the adrenal and thyroid glands. So this is called the master gland. The hypothalamus, on the other hand, regulates key functions of the body, like controlling the activity of the heart muscle and the smooth muscles of the body. It regulates emotional and behavioral problems. It controls body temperature and regulates the 24-hour cycle in biochemical, psychological, or behavioral processes. The thyroid also is the gatekeeper for the thermostat, so it controls body temperature as well. So they work together. It responds to stimulus such as stress, pain, and emotions in our environment and our internal systems. It controls pituitary gland secretion. The pineal gland secretes the hormone melatonin. This is the hormone that helps you to sleep. It causes feelings of sleepiness. If you are not making enough melatonin, you may have insomnia. It regulates endocrine function. So that's hormone function, right? That's the pineal gland. All three of these glands, very tiny, small glands in the brain, need to be supported. So let's talk about melatonin, or the hormone of sleep. The pineal gland produces melatonin when it's dark, only when it's dark. Melatonin regulates sleep. It boosts the immune system. It reduces anxiety. It scavengers free radicals, which cause aging and DNA damage. So it will prevent DNA damage. And it also regulates the metabolism. So if you tend to be overweight and you can't sleep, I would look to, supporting the pineal gland above all. Sleep Essence is something that will do that. It contains natural melatonin to induce sleep, but it also contains lavender, which is calming and relaxing. It has vetiver, which eases anxiety and alleviates stress. And it has valerian, which is really effective for restlessness from nervous conditions. It has tangerine, which decongests the lymphatic system. And it has ruta, which is a sedative with antispasmodic qualities. You can take 1 to 2 soft gel caps 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed. This is helpful for that. We also have ImmuPro, which helps to induce sleep. This contains melatonin. It boosts and strengthens the immune system. It supports healthy bones, skin, and hair. It promotes colon health. It's a powerful preventative for premature aging, for cardiovascular disease, for male and female sexual dysfunction, for menopausal problems and skin disorders. Take 1 tablet before retiring. If you're under stress, take 2 to 4 tablets before retiring or as needed. They're chewable tablets, and they have the wolfberry in them. They also have the reishi mushroom in them. So that's one of the things that supports and strengthens the immune system as well. Oils that help with the production of melatonin are cedarwood and sandalwood, and both of these stimulate the melatonin production in the brain. They promote relaxation. They oxygenate and stimulate the pineal and pituitary glands in the brain. Diffuse this, put it on the bottom of your feet, directly inhale it. You're going to want to do this many times during the day if you have trouble with melatonin production, or if you want to support the pineal gland. DHEA. DHEA is equivalent to vibrant health, and it is the most common hormone in the body. It produces both male and female hormones. It balances cortisol levels. It retards premature aging. It builds lean muscle tissue. It blocks fat tissue and cancer cells. Wow. It protects against degenerative disease, improves memory, normalizes weight, improves the sex life, and boosts energy. This is DHEA. And we have it in a product called Prenalone Plus with DHEA. This is a cream that can be put on. I like to put it on the inside of my thighs. It's recommended for insufficient testosterone levels, insufficient DHEA levels, and if you are deficient in both testosterone and in progesterone. It boosts levels of estrogen and progesterone in both men and women. All you do is massage a quarter to a half a teaspoon into the soft tissue areas, the arms, the thighs, the abdomen, the neck, and rotate site of application and apply for 3 weeks out of the month. You can continue to use Progessence Plus all through the month, but men should not use Progessence Plus. They can use Prenalone Plus. You know, one of the reasons that I've stayed with Young Living for 23 years is because they have products like these that people don't even know about, and they are phenomenal. You know, one of the things that Young Living products do is that they work, and lives have been changed. Health has been restored by using these products, and people don't know about them. They just are not aware. And I don't want Young Living to stop producing these incredible products that work so well on the human body because people aren't buying them. We need to use these to maintain our health. I have 2 bottles of Progessence Plus on my bathroom counter, and I use it. Kenneth uses Progessence Plus. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Here's a Progessence Plus testimonial. Having suffered from hot flashes and tried all of the Young Living products, including the old Estro, we used to have something called Estro. This was years ago. Nothing seemed to stop my hot flashes completely. I ordered the Progessence Plus when it came out a couple of years ago and had been using this product ever since. No more hot flashes. I'm using Endoflex on my ankles, and since I had a hysterectomy 28 years ago, I do not follow the 21 days on and 7 days off. I just use it every day. Gary Young has truly come up with a product that I needed. This was Shauna Dastrup, and I knew Shauna many, many years ago. I haven't seen her in a long time, and she's out of Utah. PD8020 is recommended for men and women over 40, and I started taking PD8020 again just because I really felt that I needed to boost my overall hormone support. I took it for about 2 weeks before I came here. Yeah, so it's prevention of premature aging, maintaining adequate hormone reserves for sustaining health and preventing premature aging. It's a natural overall hormone support, and it contains DHEA. And I read to you all of those great, effects that DHEA can have on vibrant health. Start with 1 capsule a day and increase to 2. And I was taking 2 capsules every night before I went to bed. You can take it anytime during the day, actually. You can take 2 capsules a day. I do. If you're younger, maybe you don't need as much, like if you're in your 30s or even 40s, you can try taking 1, but I like taking 2 a day. I'm getting more DHEA. It's adding to my longevity and preventing premature aging. Endogize is another one that I take off and on. It's recommended for men and women, especially formulated to support and maintain a healthy balance of the endocrine system. I think they have a new bottle for this right now. I don't remember. It contains DHEA as well. So see the products that we have available for you that have DHEA in them. Take 1 capsule twice daily for 4 weeks, and then knock it off for a couple of weeks, and then do it again. So that's why I say I take this, occasionally. I'll take it for a month, and then I might be off it for a month. And then I'll get back on it for a month. Cortisol. Cortisol is called the stress hormone. And I remember Gary talking to us about cortisol many years ago and calling it the death hormone. Not only the stress hormone, but also the death hormone. It's important for normal function of the brain, for the immune function system, the muscle tone and strength, blood circulation and sugar levels, but high cortisol levels can cause obesity, rapid weight gain, blood sugar imbalances, and high blood pressure. Low cortisol symptoms will cause adrenal exhaustion, cardiac arrest, low sex drive, depression, increased blood pressure, decreased thyroid function, muscle wasting, mental fatigue, chronic fatigue, and a lower immune resistance. So again, we want to support healthy cortisol levels, and you can do that by using Cortistop. Cortistop is recommended for estrogen dominance to counter rising cortisol levels. Use it in conjunction with Progessence Plus cream or Progessence Plus. But if you're a man, you're not going to be using Progessence Plus. You're going to be using Progessence Plus. It supports the female glandular system and balances cortisol production. You take 1 capsule before breakfast and then another one before bedtime. Use daily for 8 weeks and then discontinue for 2 to 4 weeks before resuming again. All of this is in your essential oils desk reference, but it's also on the bottle, the directions for use. All right, we're going to talk about male and female hormones. What time do we have here? We're about done with part 1 here, but let's cover this. So the female ovaries produce eggs or ova and female hormones. They also regulate the menstrual cycle and pregnancy, whereas the male testes produce and store sperm, and they are the main source of the male hormone testosterone. Okay? Stages of menopause. Perimenopause means around menopause. It occurs years before menopause actually begins. It can last 4 to 5 years, though it varies. You can experience hot flashes, sleep disturbances, and mood swings during perimenopause. That's when I started my hot flashes, was in perimenopause. You're still able to conceive a child during perimenopause. So you need to still take precautions if you're not choosing to have another child or conceive. Perimenopause does not end until an entire year after your final period. Now, during perimenopause, you're going to be getting periods that are really sporadic. You might have a period once every 3 months, or you might have a period once every 6 weeks, or every other week. Because our hormones are beginning to fluctuate. Our estrogen production is starting to wane, and we're not able to keep cyclic. That is perimenopause. Those are the symptoms. There's nothing wrong with that. It's something that you're going to go through if you're a woman. And once you have stopped your period and you haven't had one for a whole year, then you are considered in menopause. Common signs and symptoms associated with menopause are you actually should be done with your period. Hot flashes and night sweats. You may get vaginal dryness, and this is going to be caused by no estrogen, low estrogen. So you're going to want to use clary sage to bring up that moisture and that estrogen again. Sleep problems you'll have possibly with menopause, mood swings, increased fat around the abdomen, thinning hair, and decreased breast fullness. Post-menopause are the years after reaching menopause where the ovaries no longer release eggs and production of sex hormones sharply declines. So I'm post-menopausal. And that's why I want to take added DHEA, added progesterone. I want to keep my estrogen levels up so that I don't dry up. And we can do all these things using Young Living products. Estrogen-like activity that effectively combats PMS and vaginal dryness, dryness of the skin, menopausal symptoms are clary sage and sage. Now I go with clary sage. I like clary sage. You might find that sage works better for you. All I do is put clary sage on the inside of my ankles before I go to bed at night. And it completely took away vaginal dryness. It took away dry eye. It seems like when you're getting older, everything just seems to dry up. I mean, seriously, it sounds funny to me when I say it, but it's the truth. And using these oils is going to help you help your body maintain its youthfulness in spite of the fact that we're still counting down the years, right? So use 6 to 8 drops of clary sage on the lower back during PMS. Or like I said, stick a roller ball on these and put them on the inside of your ankles, because the inside of your ankle is the vital flex point for the female ovaries. And this is where We want to add that moisture to the, to the body. It would normally come from there. I honestly don't know if we still have estro. They had started getting rid of some of the products, and it's a possibility that they don't. If anybody has the time while we're on here to look up estro, but this was recommended for PMS, for menopause, for menstrual cramping, for balancing the emotions, for perimenopause. It's a natural herbal tincture, just like Rehemagen or K&B, and K&B is back in stock. I just ordered one on my order again. They're only allowing one bottle per order, but at least I'm getting it so that I can resell it to people who aren't getting enough. Estro, you just start with 1 dropper 2 to 3 times a day, and then you can increase as needed to as much as 8 droppers a day. It may take as long as 4 weeks to reach maximum effectiveness, but Dr. Purser states that 98% of the women have not had problems with Progessence Plus, and the 2% that do need to balance it with either estro or Femagen, as they are low on estrogen. So if you're low on estrogen, estro is what you need. And you can bring them both up by using Progessence Plus and estro. I was able to bring my estrogen up just by using clary sage. So it just depends on, what works well for you. Using the essential oils desk reference, I was able to discover that clary sage and geranium are 2 oils helpful for hormone regulation. I use a blend of 4 parts of clary sage to 2 parts of geranium and 2 parts of carrier oil for relief of hot flashes. While they are not completely eliminated, I don't suffer from night sweats at all, and the few hot flashes that I get are very manageable. I apply the blend to the area inside the ankles. I've given this blend to several other women who have also had relief. One coworker wasn't sleeping because of the night sweats and found immediate relief. And this was written by Don Gobe, I believe, from Wisconsin. So see, I'm not the only one saying that this stuff works really well. Essential oils and hormones, clinical studies conducted at Pisa University in 2002 and the University of Bradford in the UK have shown that topical hormone creams with essential oils have a greater ability to penetrate through the skin and enter into the blood more quickly than those that do not have essential oils. So that's why Prenolone Plus works so well. Here is Progessence Plus. And again, if you're not using it, you need to get it. Progessence Plus should be used by every woman from the age 12 to 112. Start your girls when they start menstruating on Progessence Plus. It's recommended for estrogen dominance, menopausal symptoms, PMS, hysterectomy, osteoporosis. It's very, very healthy for polycystic ovary syndrome. It's really good for fibroids. It will help to shrink fibroids. What else am I thinking of off the top of my head? Endometriosis. So micronized progesterone has been studied for over 12 years, well, many years, but this, I guess, micronized for 12. And actually, Progessence Plus has been out for at least 5, so maybe we can almost say 20 years. It seems to cause cancer cells to pop, and it assists in preventing cancer by not allowing estrogen to be dominant in the body. See, that's the problem. We don't want estrogen to be dominant in the body. We want estrogen, we need estrogen, but we need to balance it with bringing the progesterone up. It also tends to clean out cancer-causing xenoestrogens. This was a quote from Dr. Dan Purser, MD. You can look him up on Facebook. You can Google Dr. Dan Purser. He is a great endocrinologist. If you need to get a blood panel, have him guide you in that. Call for an appointment. Rub 1 or 2 drops over the carotid artery and or the wrists. I use about 6 to 8 drops every night on the inside of my arms. It is really a good oil blend. Progessence Plus, every woman should have it. A couple of testimonials. I've been suffering with symptoms of menopause for years, and when I went to Young Living Convention, I purchased the Progessence Plus and began using it. Within 3 weeks, all my night sweats, hot flashes, mood swings, and low libido that I've been experiencing disappeared. What a new lease on life. Every woman in the world should have a bottle of this. In my opinion, the world would be a lot happier place. Now, you know, I've had postmenopausal women make the statement that, well, I don't want to have sex anymore. You know, my husband isn't up to it and I'm not up to it. So if I use these hormone things, you know, will I want to have sex again? You know, the main thing is that you get your body in balance so that your other organ systems and glands work. It's not all about, you know, wanting or not wanting to have sex again. It will raise your libido, but that, you know, that is just part of keeping ourselves young. So don't not take hormone supporting products because you don't want to have sex anymore. I'm just saying that from a, you know, a senior citizen's perspective. Cindy Gould's out of Colorado says, once I turned 50, I began having hot flashes, trouble sleeping, and mood swings. I have now been using Young Living Progessence Plus serum since it was introduced at the 2010 convention. So that's 11 years ago, right? I am sleeping better, mood swings are under control, and my hot flashes are few and far between. So easy to use, just put a couple of drops daily. That's what works for me. Okay, so we're going to continue the healthy endocrine system next week. We're going to be covering which organs are part of the endocrine system again, how the endocrine system functions. We're going to be talking about, why men experience male menopause, how to relieve PMS symptoms, how to support the pancreas, why balancing the thyroid is essential for overall health, how the parathyroid affects bone health, why reducing stress is important for the adrenal glands, and which steps you can follow to support hormonal health. And we're going to end with how you can begin supporting your endocrine system. We've been talking about some of that stuff already, but we're going to dive a little deeper. So basically, that is the end of my class for tonight. Again, we're going to pick this up next week. I am going to stop the recording